The changing landscape of the housing market in Las Vegas requires a real estate professional that understands how to get your offer accepted, willing to go above and beyond for service and accountability. Hi, my name is Dan French, and I'm a California native that transitioned to Las Vegas 19 years ago. I've been in the real estate and financing industry for over 13 years. Most real estate agents struggle with answering their phone, returning phone calls, and overall structure running a solid real estate business. Many of my competitors do not have the knowledge of how to write solid offers to legitimately have your offer looked at, and they work with a commission-first mentality. I will roll up my sleeves and work hard to find the right home for you regardless of the time it takes. Please call me directly 702-557-6176 to start the process of finding the right home for you. I'm available 7 days a week for all your real estate needs.
Dan's a fantastic man. He really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Dan French. It's the French Workbench podcast here today. Wanted to give you guys a quick shout out. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? This is Dan French. Yeah. What's going on? So we have kind of some things going on today that we want to talk about. Let's first off let's talk about what's happening here in Las Vegas. Had a little bit of an issue here on the video. So,
okay.
Yeah, so Las Vegas, we're going to talk today about the outlook for 2022 and will the housing affordability and the demand still become a problem? We look at the highest ever annual appreciation in homes and also the lowest inventory. And so you look at we had the fastest rise in interest rates since 2016. So a lot of good things to talk about today. We're also going to talk about cryptocurrency. Shannon and Corinne's back. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce my crew. We have a full studio. Go ahead. What's going on, Brett?
Good morning, Las Vegas and the world.
Right?
Yeah, no, man, just
Las Vegas is the world.
we are. I mean,
is truth.
That's the great thing about Vegas. We think we're the central part of the world, don't we?
Yeah.
And we are in a lot of ways. Entertainment, anyways.
I'm the center of my universe, so that's okay.
Absolutely.
Brett, what's been going on with you, man? How's life?
Life is going well, Dan. Man, it is one crazy real estate market out there, isn't it, Corinne?
It is.
I mean, there is nothing on the market, and I don't know what to tell you, man. There's nothing on the market. It's just really tough right now, even for agents that have been doing it for a while. So, and then just doing my usual crypto stuff all week.
On the week. So, also I want to introduce Shannon Miller here. Shannon, what's going on with you today? How you doing?
Oh, happy Saturday. Is that what day
It is.
It
First
is.
Saturday in
I'm
February.
lost in it.
Heard you have some news.
What
or something
news?
to talk about.
I do. Well, that's for later. Oh, gosh. Let me
Oh, is
keep
it
my
juicy
secrets.
news? Like,
It
is
is.
it? It's
No,
really juicy.
It's
then.
not juicy. There's nothing juicy, but there is good conversation that we get to have.
Very
later
good
on.
conversation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it like one of those things where it can turn into like a cat fight, or what is it going to be?
I'm not sure.
I'm
I don't
always
know.
down
I
for
feel
one
like
of those.
Corinne and I walked in on fire this morning.
We did. We
walked in on fire.
We could arrange that in the studio.
Honestly, the males in the room should be very, very careful with their words.
Yeah.
Really?
We have our trail balls on today.
Yeah, I have my trail
okay.
balls on.
What kind of balls do you got?
Be
They are
careful,
naked balls.
sir.
No
right.
caffeine. No
like,
caffeine.
You are naked balls right now.
If you guys don't know who that is, that's Corinne Lujan. What's going on, Corinne?
Hey, glad to be back and kind of warm. I was in Reno this week for my mom's birthday. So
Nice.
happy birthday, Mom.
She's up in Reno.
She lives in Reno, yes, and she saw me on the show last time, and she said I didn't have enough makeup on. So, do I have enough makeup on?
my God.
I know.
That's
She was
funny.
like, "Oh my God,
Oh my
you
God.
look like that."
If somebody judged me today, I would
Totally.
cut their face
No,
off.
that's-
I'd be like, shut your face
That's
right
my
now.
Asian tiger mom. Live
It's like
with
the best
it.
you can
Love
do.
her.
It's
So.
the best that I can do. Get over yourself.
So let's talk about some of the things we're going to discuss, and we talk about home affordability. And what I want to bring up is, what is the outlook for 2022 with housing? Will housing affordability slow demand? And so we talk about this a lot. You look at San Francisco, you look at Seattle, and those are the most expensive cities right now to live in. Not just buying a home, but renting itself. And then so you look at it and you say, well, where do people want to go, right? And they want to go to Las Vegas. They want to go to a place where it's the sunshine, right? You got affordabilities there. And, it depends on demographics. It depends on where you're going to be at and like where you want to, purchase your home. Las Vegas is going to continue to overpass or bypass, you want to say, home affordability.
Right.
Because people are moving from other states, right? Moving here. And I can't see that it's going to slow here. Now, you can't, you look in the coasts, things, East Coast, West Coast, potentially those people will not buy or not rent. They're going to stay put. And I think a lot of it is because with rising rates, we talked about that since 2016, you look at what's happening with sellers and people bidding against each other. That's really what's happening in this market right now is you got people out there buying and you're really bidding against the next person, right?
Yep.
And so you guys out there as consumers are driving this market, and you look at what are sellers going to do if they did sell, right? How can you dissuade
That's
somebody?
kind of what we've been saying, which is
that's the challenge.
If you've bought a house in the last 2 or 3 years, 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, in the last 5 years, if you sell, what are you going to do?
Where are you going to go?
Where are you going to go? So
Yep.
unless it's a lifestyle change or, you have 2 kids now and you're making more money and you're kind of trading one for the other because it suits your needs more, or you're moving the hell out of the state or city, why would you sell?
Go?
Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Well, look at and so you
it
sell.
compounds the
No,
problem.
it's truth. It's truth.
Yeah,
Where are you going to go?
Where are you going to go? And the thing I want to say is if you sell or if you have to rent, it's going to be higher than what you probably currently have as a seller.
It is.
So why move?
So great, you've got $150,000 in
Sit on
equity,
it.
but you're going to have to use that to pay over list price and for your down. So you're washing one for the other. Like I said, unless it's I've got 2 kids now and I'm married and.
Well, I went to a seller appointment yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Okay, beautiful single-story house with a big pool, all upgraded and everything. Almost a little over 3,000 square feet. But they're, the sellers are elderly, so they want to downsize to something, but definitely comparable to what they're used to. So they do want to downsize. They do.
That makes sense because it's a lifestyle change.
And they don't want a pool anymore because that's how
kids are out of the house. They don't want something big. Totally get it.
Right. So you have to make a lifestyle change. Now, you and I, we all know it's like, we want to downsize. And I go, are you sure?
Yeah.
You can't keep all your furniture if you want to downsize. I think they understand downsize in price, but in space.
The positive thing I would say about it, I guess, if you could, would be, well, I don't see it necessarily getting any better anytime soon. So, and you're getting older.
What
so
is it
so
worth?
if you're going to make that change, make that change.
Well, I'm gonna debunk all this, okay?
Oh my God!
Please
Yes.
do.
Kick the knowledge, bro. Kick the knowledge.
Let's hear it.
So what if you're somebody out there that's later in your years, like maybe let's say you're 50s, 60s, 70s.
I'm 45, 50's not
Later
old, so you
in
watch your
your
mouth.
years.
You
I know
watch your
that's-
mouth.
You're part of that crew.
You watch
'cause
your mouth.
You look like you're 60, but shut up.
You watch your mouth.
I look good for my age, right, Brett? I
Oh
look good
yeah,
for my
you don't
age.
look like a day over 30.
Right.
So
You
let's
look
say,
you look great for 27.
Thanks.
right. So where I'm at though is that if you sell your house in another state, and let's say your kids have moved out, you have no responsibilities or you don't want them, and they come here, you could still buy a house a lot cheaper here, live on that cash, and buy cheap. I had a person that got into a house that is buying a condo. They cashed out tons of money on the house in California, but they came out here. They didn't spend. They're putting 20% down, and they still have money in the bank. So, yeah, you can say that you're sitting on that money, but what if you're traveling from another state and you're not trying to do it here internally?
But that's what's making this market go up.
People from out of
Because
state.
people
I
who
don't know
have
what
lived
that
here
state
can't
is.
afford to sell.
It's
So
out of
now
state.
all you have are people coming in where it's more advantageous for them to come here from California. They're saving on taxes.
Yeah.
They're selling their house for 3 times the price and getting twice the home here. So you have so many of those moving in here, but the existing housing
Right.
It's
limited inventory.
It's limited
It's
because
limited.
there's
And
more
then-
people moving they can only build and put up permits so
and
fast.
why would we, as homeowners in Las Vegas, why would we sell if we're sitting on that money, but we know, okay, so if I sell and I have this equity in the house, but then I have nowhere to go unless I'm leaving the state.
Or
Right?
making
It
a
doesn't
big
make
lifestyle
sense.
change.
Yeah,
And at this
huge
point,
lifestyle
I'm only
change.
gaining more equity the longer I stay here
Right.
with my cheap mortgage.
Yeah, but
Right.
why does it matter? So look, if I have money and I want to move to a state, and yes, you're saying is driving up the prices. If you're internally, let's say you live here in Las Vegas, or let's say you have a city that you're living in that is seeing a high amount of people commuting or traveling to live in another state or city like Las Vegas. Why does it matter even if I said, hey, I'm going to outbid? I mean, I had a property, 17 offers on a condo. They went 30 above. Got the deal.
I had one that had 30 offers and they went 50 above.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
That's about right.
I saw that reel.
So what's happening?
Yeah.
So why does it matter though? See,
Did I say that?
you're saying like, well, they're bidding against each other. The problem is that you got one specific criteria of people that are coming from another state that don't really care. Because even if
Yes.
they have to overpay,
For them, it's better.
for them it's I
still
wouldn't
a
say
win.
it's better, but I would say it's still a win.
It's still one.
Correct.
100% it's still a win. And they still have money in their pocket left
It's
over.
the people that are here. That's the question.
That's the people that are
That's-
getting in the squeeze.
So what do you guys think? Well, what do you think is going to happen with people that live here? Are they just going to have to stay put? And that's the people we're talking about with this
We
home
need
affordability.
more homes to come on the market.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make, I'll just be honest, it doesn't make a lot of sense for a seller who sold in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, like we said, unless they have some kind of circumstance where it's a lifestyle change or they're moving out of state. It doesn't make sense for them to sell right now.
And for us realtors to say that, that's,
Yes, I'm just,
we
but
care.
I'm just being honest. It doesn't
Don't
make sense.
sell.
Right.
So now what's gonna help that out? More homes on the market, and if it's not going to come from existing home sales, then it's going to come from new home sales.
So you guys
So
as
they
realtors,
just- they
you're out
just have
there.
to build.
You guys
They
are
just
out there
have to
punching
build.
it out, right? You guys are like, hey man,
Dude, it's a blood sport right now.
It is a blood sport.
I mean,
dog eat dog
Corinne
world
and I
right
are getting
now.
along right now because we're on air. As soon as we get off, you better watch your back, girl.
They're going at it. It's done.
Hey, Corinne came in
Sorry.
with like ready to go too.
We're
So that's
ready
gonna,
to
you
go.
know what? I
That's
think
right.
I'm gonna. I don't know though. I think I'm gonna put my money on Corinne.
Yeah.
What do you
Oh,
think,
I don't know.
Shannon? You
I
got.
mean, you should be careful. We came in very fiery this morning.
Yeah.
Both of us were
We
like,
did.
do not play. We brought coffee.
That's
We're
right.
not.
Hey. We got coffee.
No.
Pick your
That's-
battles, Dan.
Your hair was
Yeah.
actually brown before you came in. It
Yeah,
turned
now it's red.
Fiery
Watch
red.
out. I will freaking cut you.
So I think it's gonna be still.
Why
a
do I
problem.
think you're serious about that?
Because you should trust what I say.
I think it's going to still be a problem though for people. So look, let's talk about rates and what do you think the impact is going to be on mortgage rates? So we see rates go up.
It's
now
gone up, isn't it?
Yeah.
it
Had
is.
my
It's
buyer-
been going up.
She said it's like 3.70. It's like 3.8. She got
Yeah.
3.8.
Oh, it's going up.
No, it's going up.
It's going up. And the
Yeah.
thing is people are scared.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, should I do it now, Dan, or should I wait? And
It's
it's like,
still
look,
pretty good though.
Well, and it's what stocks are up, bonds are down, mortgage rates
yeah,
go up.
it's an inverse relationship.
Right.
But you look at the situation, and I think it's consumer confidence with people. People want to know, can I afford these payments, right? Especially with the Fed coming out going, in March, we're jacking up the Fed's fund rate.
Yeah.
Also, we probably are going to start tapering. We're not going to be buying as many bonds and treasuries. I think a lot of people have factor in, should I buy or should I not buy at this time? Because it's like, well, rates are going up. But what also is happening right now, what coincides with that? Prices of homes are continuing to rise. So it's really pushing a lot of people into the market. But
Well,
I feel home affordability, though, is still there. But I can't say for people that live in Las Vegas. And I think you're talking about it. Shannon brought
I
it up.
agree. So I can't speak for what's going to happen with the rest of the country. I can only speak for Las Vegas, which is the continuation of California moving here is not going to stop.
It's never stopped.
Right?
That's been from the beginning.
Yes. So it's
gotten more.
it's only
Yeah.
increased and it's going to keep going at this flow if not more. So even if an interest rate rises another percent and a half,
Doesn't matter.
what does that matter if you're still getting twice the home for half the price of
Or
where you're
paying-
coming from?
or paying cash.
Can we,
Or
can we
paying
all
cash. It
agree
doesn't matter.
that, listen, you're leaving California, and this is coming from, I would call myself a native, right? I was raised here. I wasn't born here. I was born in Southern California, but came here when I was 5. But my question for people that come from California, you come here and you're excited because the housing, right? And because what you can create in business and the different things that you have, the different advantages that you have. But if you're going to come here because you don't like what California is doing, would you stop coming here? and
do the same
voting
thing.
Well,
and doing the same
don't bring your
frickin'
politics.
things
Yeah.
that are creating this issue.
Or your driving habits.
But,
Stop
but see,
doing
that's
that.
what humans do.
No.
Is we do the same things and we notice it in other people, but not ourselves.
Well, that's called projection. That's a mirror, sir.
No, everybody does it though.
Everybody does it.
Everybody does it. I
and-
mean,
but
that's
like-
what I'm saying is they're moving out of state to get away from the politics they created and then bringing the
And then
politics.
bringing it here, which is what I'm saying.
Completely
Hey,
unaware that they're bringing the politics. That's what I'm
Be
talking about.
self-aware. The fact that you're coming here because
Yeah.
of what you guys created there is not working and it's not sustainable. And so, what do you guys get to do now? And how do you guys get to like actually be a part of our community and what we're trying to create? Because Vegas is a community. You know, as much as people come here for, you know, we're going to the Strip and we're going to go play and we're going to do all the things. We really are a tight knit community.
Oh yeah, I love
And
the
so,
local community.
So be a part of that and
Right.
understand what we're trying to create.
Right.
But the California ways, you left it for a reason. So acknowledge that. And what do we get to do moving forward to change this?
I think California is not the only state, though, right? And I would say
Yeah.
there's other
It's our
states. It's
top
East
state,
Coast,
but there's-
a lot of
yeah.
a lot of. I think it's a big transient from California because it's so close. But I'm
Right.
just saying there's there's other states that have people
Top 5
coming.
states: California, Texas, Florida, Washington, Oregon,
That's that travel
and
here, right?
Arizona.
Yeah.
Utah.
Those are our top 5 states. No, they
They're a little bit low.
I think in
Californication.
Utah, you live in Utah for a reason. You
Yeah.
don't want to live in a place
don't
like
want-
Las Vegas.
No.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm getting away from.
The Las Vegas.
Right.
Right. You're not looking for Las Vegas
Right.
if you're living in Utah. For
So,
sure.
so what do you guys think the impact is going to be with rising rates, right? So let's say that, because we all know that the Fed's fund rate goes up, it's going to raise short-term bonds. Okay, it's going to raise things like student loans, car loans, credit cards. So the interest that people are extending credit to at that point is now going to be up. What do you think is going to have an impact on the market? Do you think it's going to slow the housing market here in Las Vegas? Because it doesn't look like it is. But even with that increase, and let's say that rates continue to go up.
Are all those factors negative on the overall market? Yes. Will it affect our housing market here? Absolutely not.
No, it's going to keep growing.
So you think coming to Vegas that people, it doesn't matter where they're coming from. Let's not just say California, because yes, but everywhere, that it's not going to have any impact. Because look, let's say you're in the Midwest and you want to move out to Las Vegas just because you want to, maybe you just want something where it's a little bit drier. Maybe the weather is better here.
Yeah.
And maybe it is an upscale or uptick to what you're currently paying on your monthly outage, right? Let's say your output for rent is, $500. It's going to be $500 more in Las Vegas. They move from Midwest. What do you guys think about that? I mean, do you think it's going to have an impact across the country for people coming here as far as the increase in overall, like interest rate increase, cost of things, goods and services increase?
What
If
do you
you're
mean? Do you think it's going to have an effect of less people moving here? Is that the
Correct.
question?
Because if you're
I don't think
self-employed,
so.
Not at all.
I don't think so either.
you don't think so?
I don't see people from the Midwest moving here in droves.
Yeah, if you're self-employed,
Except
though,
for me.
listen, if you're self-employed, now all those costs, if you're running a business, now are passed to you into your business.
Right.
Right? It's not just somebody that goes and works as a W-2 job. If you got employees or you have to buy materials and things like that, and all these things are going up, that's going to affect everybody.
But then that slight increase, though, when you look at like mortgage rates, all of that, that slight increase is not going to stop you from doing it. You're doing it on purpose. And if you can't afford the $500, you wouldn't be doing it to begin with, right?
It's
So
not borderline people that we're talking about.
Yeah. Like, I think it's,
You know?
when you come to the average person that, okay, this is my strict budget, this is what's happening, they have to have a job transfer, whatever. Of course, that's a different conversation. But when we're talking about a business owner, yeah, for sure, because there's so many other tax advantages. There's so many other advantages of being in Vegas.
I look at people living paycheck to paycheck all the time.
Yeah, lots.
And I'm not saying, look, our buyers and people, they come in with money, but it's because they sold an asset. They got, maybe they had something.
If you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, you probably don't stand a chance in the current housing market.
That's true.
Well, what I'm saying is it's going to push people even further away. That's what we're talking about, the home
Yes.
affordability. If you're like trying to struggle to get
It will,
3
yes.
to 5% together or even just down payment and closing
Hold
costs.
on. Rewind, I guess, to clarify. What do you mean by push people further away from what? From out of Las Vegas?
No, further away
Home
from actually
affordability.
getting a home because
Okay.
Purchasing.
That's what I thought. So I still think that the amount of California people moving here, getting twice the home for half the price, is unchanged and will
we
be
can't
unchanged.
just say California though. Look,
Okay, from other places.
40% of our buyers are from California.
So we can actually.
That's a huge number. I didn't know
40%.
that.
I mean, you want to
Second
say we
drop
can't
is
point
like
one finger?
single
Yes, we
digits.
can.
Single
actually.
digits.
Okay, so let's
But point being is, even if you're talking about any other states, Las Vegas in general is a desirable place to move to.
Okay.
Even if you're not from California.
Okay, let's go back.
So
Let's rewind.
I don't think that's going to change with the amount of people moving here that have the money to move here. It's a purposeful thing that they're doing, intentionally moving here.
Yeah.
So I got buyers
You know?
that are all down the spectrum, right? They're buyers that or I'm taking them out, looking and saying, hey, I want to buy this house. This is all I can afford. So we're making offers on this, doing, whatever I'm doing. Lending, same thing. So you look at, well, if I got a buyer that struggled to get where they're at, let's say 6 months ago, regardless of a loan or getting into a house or trying to get the money together, you raise rates and you raise the Fed's fund rate and you raise rates on a lot of the things we currently have now, right? We already know inflation's going up. How does somebody actually survive against other people? You said we're talking about bidding against each other. So at that point, what I'm saying is people are living paycheck to paycheck. Why would it not get even worse than what it is now? Because everybody's like, well, we're going to always have people that are going to...
Until the current issue is fixed, it will. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not going to get any better until we get more homes on the market. Now, the conversation of what we have to do or what has to happen for that
it's a chicken or egg thing.
Is completely different conversation, and that entertains a lot of different ideas.
There's so many opportunities though, and this is what I see. This is what I see happening. I don't see we're gonna have that huge boom that we had back in the day where they were way overbuilding and giving everybody with a heartbeat money, right?
Why do you think? Why do you
that's
think
exactly
that?
Because of all the because of all the regulations and what happens.
They can't build fast enough now for the demand.
But what I see happening is it's not going to necessarily slow. People are going to take advantage of what's available right now. And right now, it's most people in town, if they bought in the last 3-5 years, they're going to hold on to it, right? Unless there's a life change. And so that hence the limited market and availability that we have right now.
Here's the thing.
So hold on. Shh.
Don't cut me.
Hey, she came in with red hair, bro.
I told you. I will
Look at this. I'm looking at her nails. I'm glad you're sitting there.
And I cut them short. Like, watch me.
I'm going to see Brett bleeding over there.
But I think the entrepreneur side of me says that there's going to be people that go, okay, I see what's available here. I mean, we just talked a couple weeks ago about, and I don't remember what builder it was that bought all that land to develop, right? So there's things in the works. Right now, we're just low in inventory, but I think a lot of people are taking advantage of what is possible in Las Vegas, and I think it's coming. We just haven't seen it yet. It takes time.
I'm going to say this. So you always talk about the American dream and saying like, oh, I want to buy a house. I want to own a house. Is it really the American dream anymore?
No.
I mean, because you got to look at it and say, look, I mean, we all say, yeah.
It's a different American dream.
Well,
so what's your idea of that? And are you going to say that the American dream is one and for all and it's not ever evolving and changing?
Or I look at it like this. Does people want to own homes? Sure. But when you're competing against people that have properties they've sold for a premium, and you have investors coming in and you got builders and investors working together to try to, buy as many homes as they can, and they already have connections and contracts set up where once they're built, somebody already owns that, right? As far as an investor. And so now they're looking at a world of renters. And so can somebody like the average person out there, I think that home affordability is going to continue to be something we need to pay attention to, because who's really going to be able to buy a house today? Especially if unless these markets, what if California slows down and we actually appreciate and get more closer to California? And let's say that those homes kind of stop, the demand there could happen.
Right.
The demand starts to slow down there because they're so high, and we start to creep up, and we're almost as almost right next to California in prices. Who's moving here then?
Why? Yeah, why would you do it?
Who's at that point? Are we done?
Hold on, everybody.
What's the median
I think
price
we got
right
a
now?
long ways to go before we catch up to California prices.
Yeah, agreed.
I think it's going to happen next month. That's what I'm just saying.
Dude, I mean, here's the thing. Everybody calm down.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we got a long ways to go before we catch up.
And I'm the oldest one in here. I'll be dead before that, so I don't care. California,
so you think it's going to take that?
Did you just age yourself, Corinne?
Yeah, I mean, you're 30. You're talking about like what?
I mean, come on, that's a long.
No, really. I honestly, we're on these Zooms. I'm in the Zooms with real estate Zooms and stuff like that. Of course, we're going to look at and be aware of what's going to be coming down the pipe. But am I worried about it now? No, I'm still hustling my ass off.
Yeah.
And I'll worry about that when it comes, but we are aware of it.
But these are things that we need to bring attention to each other and to also be aware of. Because look,
be aware of it, but
we're out of control of what's. Listen, we can't control inflation.
I just can't worry.
We can't control. We can't control rates.
Exactly. So why are we losing sleep over it? Yeah. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm just going to hustle my ass off.
I'm definitely not.
Keep hustling my ass off, and when it comes, then be ready for it.
I lose sleep every night when I see just an eighth of a point increase. I go, Here we go again.
Yeah.
This is why y'all.
That's the
Shannon and I
that's the
still have our
freaking
hair.
lender.
We
That's
don't
the
worry
lender.
about
Well,
that. We don't worry about that.
No.
Let's kind of get to that if you don't mind about
Losing
what you
hair?
were saying about when you're coming in here today. You had some complaints and
Oh, are we
you wanted
there yet?
You wanted to file some
wanna do that?
some
Yeah, so
complaints.
let's go ahead and end
kind of
this.
say
Let's end this segment, but we talk a lot about home affordability because I really feel for the average person out there.
Yeah.
Like I can relate to somebody trying to buy their first home in
Yeah.
this market. You got to realize that it's not
That's-
just.
I agree, man.
I think everybody in this position that we're in is numb
Yeah.
because you know why? You're now somewhat established in your career. You also know what's going on. The average person out there that's coming into the
Yeah.
market, a millennial, 28 to 33, they're looking to buy a house. They're like, wait a second.
I would say the last
Wait
thing
a
Corinne and I want to do is come across as know-it-alls and arrogant or anything like that. Any questions that anybody has about kind of what's going on, Corinne and I will both give our honest opinion about it, what we feel
love
is
working
happening.
with first-time home buyers
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it keeps me fresh. You know,
You just have to be real, and that's fine. But I want to make it a point to say that I don't think I know it all, and that I'm
this in
coming across
context.
as like
Yeah, but I will say, so before the crash, and we talked about this previously, the first time I got approved for a home loan was before the crash. And I was 19. And
Who
I
did
was
you use as a lender?
I
No,
don't remember.
sure as hell wasn't you.
I don't remember. You know,
19,
but I just,
you go, girl.
like, it was, I was 18, 19 years old. And
Wow.
I got approved for, like, it was like, I think like 400, 450. And I just remember at the time it was, my kid's dad. I'm not with him. That's, no.
Wait, you're not with him?
No.
Okay, I just
No,
want
we
to
have
make sure you
children together,
emphasize that. So
we are not.
emphasize that on the
baby
video
dad.
right
so
now.
we are
you with
not,
them or are you
no,
not?
we
no.
are not together. We haven't been together for a very long time. But so we got approved, and I remember being in the car and we're driving down Blue Diamond. I remember looking at him and I go, why are they giving us this money? That doesn't make sense to me, right? And so it was the first time, and I remember I specifically said, let's just keep renting, and then the market crashed because it did make sense to me. And I think that's one thing as a new home buyer, as a first-time home buyer, is to, from a personal perspective, be really clear. Like you're at, like come on, the market has just continued to go up. The housing prices has gone up. There's a lot more regulation around it, and so it's just being self-aware and making healthy choices for yourself, and not just like, okay, I want a house. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Absolutely. And you work with, and speaking of not being know-it-alls, you work with an agent, honestly, who will have your best interest in mind first.
Right.
I love one of your spots, your commercial spots, where it's like, work with an agent who's not commission first mentality. I love
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know
not a
who thought of
commission-
that, but
We're not a commission first
It was
mentality.
not
I have
you,
told
sir.
buyers.
I appreciate it because I'm totally stealing that line. So
I know.
thanks,
I
Dan.
love it. I
Gosh,
told
thievery.
clients, it's like,
See,
don't
if you're
call
not
Brett.
ready to buy right now, hey, if you can wait till like fall or winter, let's
wait a little bit.
Just wait a little bit, So that's fine. Don't be a commission first mentality. I love that.
I mean,
love
it's not the
that.
first time I've been copied
because
by
we're
things.
not going to be
If you don't have to buy right now,
we're not
just
gonna be
wait
in this
until more
business
homes
long
come on the
enough.
market.
Right.
It's real simple.
We're not
Just
gonna
wait
be in
till
the
more homes
business.
come on the market.
Let's go back to the reason I'm bringing this up is you guys are all working in your fields and you guys, you're doing your deal, right? You're trying to make a living. You've kind of established yourself, like I said. Now, it's not just first-time home buyers, though. It's just buyers in general.
It's buyers in general.
Right?
yeah.
I mean, what if you bought a home and you waited and you're 5 years after you bought your first house and now you're back in the market? Whoever's in the market right now, it's just like this. We all know that that's going to be a big problem, and we have to feel for these people because how can you compete against somebody that's willing to go that far above? Even if you have a house in California, everybody wants to talk about, everybody moves from California here. What if you still had somebody that said, hey, you know what? I have $100,000. Why do I want to spend $40,000 above list and now I have $60,000 left and I'm competing against somebody else in California? And that's the problem.
Well,
People have
Here-
different reasons.
Here's the
for
thing,
that.
dude. All of us live here. So we're experiencing the same thing that all the consumers are experiencing for buying and selling.
So
and
what
renting.
would
And
you
I
do?
mean,
If you're in this, let's say, go back.
I would stay put unless I had a situation where I wanted to downsize, a lifestyle change where it made sense and I could afford it, or I was getting the hell out of Dodge.
What about you,
That's-
Shannon? Like, would you, like, if
Other
you're
than
in
that,
that,
I'd sit tight.
yeah, what would you do?
Honestly, if I was in this market, I'd sit on my house. I'd keep it.
Really?
I'd sit
Why
on
would you
it and
not?
I would wait. Yeah, I'd wait because I know
You
that
think
I think values are going to go up.
It's only going to continue to go.
But in part of and it's not just about the value of the home. It's about what does my transition look like. And in order for me,
That's a good point.
That's
That's a
part
really good
for
point.
me is okay. So I could sell my house tomorrow, right? Have 30 offers and people are going way above appraisal and they're willing to pay it and they have the cash, the funds, whatever. All of that is done. But then, so where do I go?
So then you turn around and buy into that market.
And then you buy into it. Yeah, so there, in my head, because obviously I'm not in this industry, and I always say that. But in my head, it doesn't make sense because I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do with that? Unless you have a substantial difference, a substantial amount of money, why would you get rid of it? I would rather go rent and then rent my place out and make more money on it.
That's what I would say.
That's
I
what
mean,
I'd rather
if
do.
anything, cash out. Because you can't go broke taking profit.
Right.
Okay. So cash out and go rent.
Go rent.
Corinne, what are your thoughts?
Chill for a couple of years and see what happens to the market.
I agree. But I have a client who is buying because they do have a big lifestyle change
There you
coming
go.
on.
Makes sense.
Elderly parent might be moving in, grandchildren might be coming into the picture.
Sure.
So God bless her.
It makes sense.
I
and
have
there's
a client.
plenty of people out there like that. Don't
But
get me
yeah,
wrong.
It it has to be a lifestyle change.
Yes.
You can't just go,
Yeah.
oh, well, you know what? I'm bored of this house. I want another one.
Well, and
It's not.
and actually like thinking it through and not making quick decisions, but really thinking about it. Where are you at in the market? What is the lifestyle change?
Yeah.
There's a question. What is the question, please?
Yes, I wanna bring up a question.
I'm so in it now.
My 2011, this is by DJ Marxina. My 2011 San Diego house is appraised at $960. Should we hold and still move to Vegas or sell before home prices or house prices go up when rates go up in March or April? So
Depends on what part of Vegas you want to come to.
you can answer that. You want to bring?
I mean, I don't know
Place.
San Diego at all, but I'm assuming San Diego is probably going to remain a desirable place.
Very, yeah. I lived in Southern California for 15
So
years.
I don't see
absolutely.
the housing market going down there.
No.
I don't know how much it's going to go up, but I don't see it going down at all. And I only see the market here continuing to be the same that it is right now
Yeah.
until I see evidence of something different and more homes on the market. So, but I mean, if you've got some cash and you're willing to do what you need to, you can still get twice the home for half the price here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sell your house.
regardless.
What
Sell
would you
your
do,
house.
Corinne?
You know what? Here's what I think. And if you're not familiar with Vegas, or you maybe want to wait towards the end of the year when hopefully things calm down, sell your house. Find some short-term housing here. We've got that. Have a great time in Las Vegas. Explore the different neighborhoods, and decide from there whenever you're ready. Don't rush into anything. That's
Tell you
what
what,
Shannon said.
come-
Don't
Right,
rush
don't
into
rush.
it.
Come up to Vegas
Don't
for a
rush.
weekend, and
That's right.
Well, no.
Corinne or I will show you around and show you the different neighborhoods. If
That's
we know
right.
you're serious and you're ready to buy,
Absolutely.
we'll
Absolutely.
spend more than enough
Well,
time
and
showing you what's
I
what.
think that's one of the biggest things is like people have a perception of Las Vegas, and it's
Mm-hmm.
coming and actually experiencing what does the community look like,
Right,
and where do you
yeah.
want to be, and
Yeah.
what
Do you
is
feel
that?
you're in Las Vegas when you're driving around Summerlin?
No, not
Absolutely
at
not.
all.
You know you're in
Not
the
at all.
desert because you see palm trees.
Yeah,
but
I live in
Summerlin.
Summerlin, not Las
the
Vegas.
strip's
Southern
down there,
Highlands.
and
Yeah.
I'm up here.
Yeah.
You know that.
No, it's a totally different thing.
Let's
Totally
ask
different
let's
lifestyle.
answer this question. So basically, they're saying that should we
Yes.
sell the house
Absolutely.
before prices go down? Now, we've all just confirmed on this show that we don't think prices of homes are going to go down. So
No.
they're saying that
well,
prices
I would
of homes.
say if you want to make that move, it's whenever you want to make the move. I don't think much is going
Right.
to change anytime soon. So whether you sell now or you wait 6 months, you'll probably get
Well-
more in 6 months, but then you'll pay here a little more in 6 months. I mean, so
But
it's
you're
kinda
in a
washing
really
itself
good
out right
spot.
now.
kind of a
You're in a
wash.
really
You're
good
in a great spot.
Yeah.
All right,
You don't have to buy. You
Here's
don't
what
have
I'm
to
going to say.
sell. You're in a
I'm
great
going to
spot.
say I feel that prices even in San Diego are going to continue to rise.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I would probably hold on to the property. You're going to get whatever you want for rent. And I would look to rent the house first. Now, if you got to sell because you need proceeds from that house and you want to move because you just want to go to a better place like Las Vegas.
What
where
if you
have
wanna
cheaper-
save on taxes?
Hold on. Before you have, that's what I'm saying. Before you want to move here because you want to save money on taxes or cheaper cost of living, fine. Now, as far as rates going up, I'm going to tell you guys this. I don't feel rates are going to continue to go up.
Good.
I feel that they're
They'll
going to go
level
up
off.
slightly
Okay.
a little bit, but you have to understand the Fed has to service this debt. They're buying bonds, they're buying treasuries.
Right.
And they have to service every time that they buy bonds or treasuries, and it's called tapering, right? So when you taper, you're selling off, which is what they're doing now, and you're buying less of those. That's what they're doing in March.
Right.
So do I feel that the rates are going to continue to go up? I do, but I also feel that the economy can't sustain that. They're doing this to really have that fine pulling the string of let's pull back and get inflation down, right? Yep. Let's get things back in order.
It's
just
a way
slightly.
to control the market.
And it's a way to control the market. It's a fine line. So if I'm going to answer that question, I'm going to say I'm going to hold and see what happens after March.
I would hold and I would rent it out.
Okay,
and
we
then
got two hold, two buy.
if you want to leave, if
Well,
your intention is you want to go somewhere else or go to a different state where you can save money, whatever, I would literally hold on to that property. I would rent it out. This is just coming from somebody with let's just be clear, no background, right? Yes, no.
Well,
hold on to it, rent it, and then move forward in another way. That's
I would start with asking them what their situation was and what their end goal is.
Yeah.
That's what I would start with.
We have limited information
and then the advice from that would cater to what they told me. So, because at the end of the day, yes, prices will go up in San Diego, but prices will go up here. So if you hold and get more, you're going to then turn around here and buy more. So when do you want to do that? Do you want to do that 6 months from now? Do you want to do that now? Now, if you're in a position where you can just hold on to it and rent it out and still have the money to move here, absolutely.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's ideal.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you can't do that, if you need to sell that, then that's not a possibility.
Well, there's some more information here.
Okay.
Okay. So, yes, we're still seriously using my VA loan. So, here's my thing.
Perfect.
Here's my thing. If you're going to use your VA loan, that's a great program.
Explain to them about that.
Well, it's the best loan program, in my opinion, out there. Now, but again, what are you moving into? So if you're going to buy a house and you're going to come here to Las Vegas and you're going to use your VA as a primary residence, reposition, then I would seriously consider it. Now, it just depends on, it's a case by case in your situation. If you're coming here just to say, I'm going to change my lifestyle, I'm retired, I don't have to worry about work.
I want a pool.
And I got home affordability is a lot better here than Las Vegas. Jump on that ship.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
So,
so what does that look like with a payment of, say, he's going to be in the $750, $800 price point to get a single story with like a 3-car, 4-car garage. You've got half something with some space like that.
It's what they're
like
looking for.
Say that's the scenario they're looking for. You're going to be around $800. What does that look like for a VA buyer as far as what? Because it's no money down, but at a certain point they've got to bring in 25% of the difference.
No, they don't have to
Their
do that
limit's
anymore.
gone up.
You got the
That's
Blue Water.
How does that look?
Well, the Blue Water Navy Act came out.
Okay.
And now people can actually buy up to $1 million, and anything
That's
exceeding
cool.
$1 million,
Yeah.
Then they'd have to
put
do
5%.
the 20. Okay.
5%.
Okay.
Now, rates are slightly higher when you go exceeding the county limit. We still have a county limit.
Yep.
The VA county limit mirrors what Fannie Mae
No kidding.
and Freddie Mac actually have. Yeah, as far as what the county limit is. So it's still there, and you can't go concurrent. You can't say, well, I got a VA, and then go. So you got to make sure your VA is cleared, has full eligibility, and then, yes, you can go up to $1 million with no down payment.
And this is a great scenario. Thank you for asking
so
that.
He's got
that's
a VA.
exactly
Say he's
what
got
a lot of people are facing.
Say he's got a VA loan on his current house, and he wants to buy one here, and he's selling that. Does he have to sell that first to buy here for that VA? Correct.
Correct, because it can't be concurrent. Now,
okay.
I want to bring up something else.
But you can get in contract on something new, knowing that's going to close, and then you can use that for the new one. Correct.
Yes, but the problem is how quick can you get that eligibility back, right? So if you're going to stay in that house, what a lot of people don't know or what they can't do is they're trying to strategically plan this out. Where they're timing it. They're staying in a new home, or they're buying a new home. They're staying in their current home, and they want to extend it as far as they can.
I get it,
right? Because they don't want to have to rent. But again, if you don't have that in place, then So going back to that scenario, I think that yes, I would probably, if I was them and I was that situation, I'd probably end up selling, just because I would say hold. But if I got a VA opportunity and if I'm trying to move here to call it a primary residence and I want to go somewhere new, then maybe I would do that. Let's talk a little bit about.
Thank you.
I want to talk with you guys here about what your guys' topics are and what happened with a lot of these people.
Which ones?
That you have on social media.
I'm just gonna sit back here.
Who is this? Because I feel like your face is turning red. Your hair is already red.
It's already.
You know what I mean?
There you guys.
So what's happening here?
Strawberry over here. So go ahead.
What's going on?
Well, I mean, Corinne and I were talking about it this morning. We're like, Okay, what is the
We
topic?
started out positive. We were talking about what are we going to talk about.
It just started going down this trail. So actually, I think that it's I think it's actually fair.
So you talked yourselves into bad moods.
Oh no, no, I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just being very clear and decisive in what's happening.
So
in my
tell
life.
us what this soap opera. What happened?
Corinne, do you want to start?
Please, no, you go ahead, girl.
Which part? Like, where
I'll
do we start?
So it all started.
It's like, oh my God, like, are you for real?
No.
What happened? You got to give us the scoop. So go ahead, start,
As
Shannon.
if.
It was Corinne's story, and she was talking about somebody that had messaged her on social media, and so
No, girl,
Supposed to be
she
a
was in my
friend.
face. She was in my face.
Oh, she said it to your face.
Here's the thing.
I will
She
cut
said to
her
your face?
right freaking now.
Right
You-
now,
you
I'm
gave me
seriously-
decaf coffee. I'm
I
gonna get
know
you.
it. And decaf trail balls. No. It's
Sell
all
it.
because of again our persona on social media, and I think women get judged more harshly than men do.
It's
okay.
true. Well, and I think that there's this fine line, and I've been on social media for years, and there's a fine line. Like, yes, we're sharing who we are and what we're about and things that are going on in life and business and family, whatever that is. There also gets to be a sense of self where we get to have our parts that we don't share with everybody.
Absolutely, yes.
Right?
God.
But what's really funny is that I actually was having this conversation with my oldest just a couple days ago. I said, the ones that are going to judge you, the ones that are going to break you down, that say that you're not good enough, or like, I saw what you did online, it wasn't good, or you should have done this different, or your makeup wasn't good enough
That's
when you
right.
got on
Mom.
the podcast. I love you, Mom.
They say stuff like that?
But typically,
just my mom. Damn.
those are the people who aren't doing it themselves. They're not even willing to do it themselves. So you know what? Screw anybody that has anything to say about it. At least you're trying. At least you're showing up. At least you're doing something different. And you are allowed to have your own personal space online, because we're utilizing it in not just a personal manner, but in a business manner. And so not everything gets to be out there.
It
but
is.
Screw the haters. If you don't have haters, then you're like,
then you're not doing it
anything.
right. Exactly.
Just remember, even if they're a hater, they're still a fan.
They
Yeah, but
are
let me-
They're
looking at
watching,
you.
aren't they?
Let me say this.
Yeah.
So let me say this. Though.
That's
So
right.
you're-
That's how it's done.
So you're saying that you've had people on that are on social media that are seeing you guys post, and is it admiration, or is it I'm jealous? Like, what is it? What do you think is happening with these people?
It's a lot of judgment. Okay, so when like last week, I posted I'm showing houses or I'm doing an open house, and I'll get this, you work too hard, Corinne, you should enjoy yourself. I'm like, girl, if I posted how I enjoy myself, you couldn't handle it. Trust me. So I'm like, but
Don't you love that?
I
Like,
do love
slow
it. It's
down.
like, slow down. If I'm
So
working
someone
too
sent you a
hard-
message saying you
All
work
right.
too hard.
That's not even a
Yes.
message. It
No,
wasn't
it's
a
an
message.
actual thing.
It was a post.
I hear it all the time.
Yeah,
I
it was
get
a comment on one of my posts.
Shannon, you got to slow down.
How
Slow
can you
down.
work
I'm like,
too hard?
yeah. I'm like, but
Slow down.
it also kills my soul. Like, I actually
You know who
like what I do.
You know who says don't work too hard? Betas.
Yeah. Thank
Lazy
you.
people. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't know what
That's
that.
facts,
Don't-
right?
There's
So
no such
let me
thing
ask
as
you.
working
So
too
what?
hard, I
So
don't
listen,
think.
I see
not.
Shannon, and she's posting. You're posting on Instagram a lot, on social media.
Yeah,
So
mostly Facebook, but yeah, on Instagram.
why would somebody as a woman or anybody it is, let's just say anybody, would not promote you or have some encouragement for you? Because I would say, man, you're doing it, right? You're doing, and listen, I would have respect and try to like mirror or do some things like, so you're saying that there's a lot of people that
Not a
have
lot.
hate.
It's not a lot.
No.
I wouldn't say there's a lot.
There's always a segment.
we don't know
But
them.
there is, and this is something that, I talk about not only with clients, but even my kids. I talk about, listen,
Yeah.
how that person is showing up is either there's a mirror being held up to them,
Yep.
and they don't like that part of themselves, or it's projection. They want to do what you're
Absolutely.
doing. And so, but they're not. And so it's easier to break you down than to say, whoa. What have you done? How do I
easier for
do
you.
this?
Yeah, it's easier for them to break you down than it is
Than
to
to build
examine
themselves.
themselves.
Yes, 'cause
nobody
change is
wants to
hard.
admit these things about themselves.
Yep.
That are the voices in the back of their heads that we all know about ourselves.
Super
but nobody
hard.
wants to admit it.
So I always use this tactic. Okay, if somebody doesn't, like what I do or talks about me or whatever, they don't value me. If they don't value me, then obviously I'm not in a relationship as far as just business or online. So I just ignore them. And
That's
the
how-
best.
I do
that
that
is the
too.
best.
That's
tactic.
why I never return your calls.
Yeah, I don't.
Exactly.
But
You're just done. You get ghosted forever.
I
You
know.
won't
I
hear
was
from
gonna
me.
I was gonna message you about that, Shannon. I go, should I respond to this?
Yeah.
It's just because it never ends. It never
Yeah.
ends.
But
though.
I think it's also fair.
But then it also shows us like, God, Corinne, so defensive, and you know you'll get that.
There's two
Gaslighting.
sides to it.
Right.
There's gaslighting, of course, but there's two sides to it. There's number one, the allowing yourself the space to say, hey, by the way, I'm not okay with this.
Yeah,
this
that's
is not
true.
real. Just because
Yeah.
you're saying it does not mean
Yeah.
that it's real, and I'm not going
And
to own
that's what
it.
you need to really do is address it like that, I
or
think.
you can let
I
it
love
go
that.
and be quiet about it, but also know, like, just self-evaluate. Is it real for you? Are you showing up that way? Is that true? If not, let it go.
You know-
but that's the hardest part, because we want to
hard.
self-defend.
It is hard. Like even when
I
when
know.
we get in a political
hard.
climate, I've had
Yeah.
brokers just say, we do not
Yeah.
talk about politics. We do not post it, but we just can't help ourselves, and you're going to
Yeah.
lose 50% of your business.
I
You
know,
know,
don't
I
do
agree
it.
with her though on that, because either confront it or don't confront it and decide
Yeah.
up front if it's worth it. If it's worth it, I say start with the elephant in the room right away. Just
I'm
start
of the-
right in with
I'm
the
of
elephant in
just
the room.
ignore it.
Which
I'm
is
just
which is
ignore
why
it.
do you feel that I'm the I would just address the elephant in the room right away.
Well, you know
that's
what?
why she's
So I'm going to bring
She is
something
an
up.
elephant.
Okay, so
there. You go.
also
She is
have
an
to-
elephant.
I
You
said
hear
it.
that? You're an
There.
elephant.
I said
I'm
it.
just kidding.
I
Corinne said that.
I said it.
You said it. So let's talk about this. All right. So you have to have raving fans, and I know it sounds kind of cliche, but you do. Now I'm going to bring something up. We got a guy on here named Ver Star, and I want to give a shout out to Ver.
Ver always watches.
Ver is
Ver,
always,
appreciate it.
Ver is always on this show, and he's
So's
always
running with
talking-
altitude.
Running at altitude. I mean, you got
And
the
Bonita.
same. Bonita's on here. Kismet. I mean, look, we value you guys, but here's where I'm coming with it. My show starts off. You guys have social media,
Yeah.
and it's just the support,
Right.
And I think you have a mindset of people out there like Ver and like these others we talked about that want to see you win.
Yeah.
Right? Now you have other people that are like, oh, they're a competitor. They're a real estate agent. I
They
don't like them.
exist just to see you fail.
And they hope you don't make it
Yeah.
because then they can be up one on you.
Yeah.
But the people that are out there that genuinely care about you, you have to care about them in return. If they don't like you.
So that's where
then just-
mastering an adult comes into play.
Right.
Is you need to master your emotions and where to stick your time.
Wait, Brett,
And
are
it's-
you talking about emotional intelligence right now?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
But you know what?
Mine-
I know
Don't
mine
talk
blowing
dirty.
stuff at
Don't
me.
talk dirty to me.
I know.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
know.
You know
sorry.
Don't
what?
talk
It's
dirty.
like I'm okay with the negative because sometimes the negative is what gets me out of bed, pissed off and ready to go. And
Fire you up.
It fires me up. You know, I don't need my ego stroked all the time.
Yeah.
It's fine. I love people who love me, but the ones who criticize me or want to do other things, it's like that makes me work harder. You
That's
know?
right. That's absolutely. That's how it should
I've had a man tell me, "You're never gonna make it without me, Corinne." I'm just like,
I've been told that.
be. Yeah.
too.
So you're like me. If you ever want me to do something, tell me I can't do
tell
it.
me I can't do it.
Yeah, tell me.
Because I'll do
tell
it
me.
just to stick it up
But
your ass.
that's the alpha.
I
think
will.
that's the alpha
Don't
part.
tell me I can't do something.
That's
dude.
because like you
I'll-
tell me what
you
to
know.
do or that I can't
I'll
do something. I'm
I'll
like,
stay up
oh,
to 3 or 4 in the morning
watch
finishing
me.
something just
That's
to prove
right.
my point.
So
I
it's
don't-
okay.
yeah.
It's okay to have that negative. Come on, that's life. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, come on. That's
I don't
life.
think you could step up on this table and start doing a dance. Can you do that?
Do it right
Oh
now,
my
please.
God.
He didn't do
You
it.
don't want that, bud.
You didn't do it. You just said you.
I literally
That's
was
for
about to-
that's for another
I was
show.
gonna
Come
kick
on.
my shoes off right now and do it with you. What is happening?
I thought it was going to be like Saturday Night Live over
Yeah,
here.
for
Like,
sure.
we could find the music.
Walking, he's the ladies' man. He's a walking walk.
Oh my
No,
God.
it's
know
all
what that
good.
song is.
I
Not
think,
that we all want to see it, but it would have been
look,
fun.
I
do
think
real estate,
social
right, Brett?
media.
I do.
Don't
I think
stop
it's all
that job.
good. I think it's all good. I think social
Just
media
like-
is a good check for everybody. But you know what? The ones that are always with the negative, that's what I don't like. Always with the negative.
So let me ask you a question. So what if somebody makes a pass that you're like wants to like gives you a compliment, but they're trying to say, hey, I'm interested in you.
If-
Is that different?
Wait,
Is he saying
interested in which
if?
way? What do you mean?
in like dating or like, hey,
How are they
I
gonna-
think you're attractive. Is that different than saying, hey, I
How's
like
that
you?
hating on you?
No, just I'm saying different than hating on you.
I just say thank you so much. That's
Now, do
so
you wanna buy a
nice.
house?
first
And
you
then I
look
move
at
on.
That's where I want to
Like,
know. So do you guys take the same approach? I guess is
And literally
First, he
just
looks at
thank
the
you
guy
so much.
and classifies them into attractive or unattractive.
Yeah, I'm like, thank you so
And then
much. I
proceeds from there.
appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment. And then I just move on.
now.
just
What if
move
he's a
on.
10 though? Do you say, oh yeah, hi, how are you? I mean, what do you do in that situation?
I have a boyfriend, so I wouldn't do that.
Well, let's say
but
you
when I
were
was
single.
no, still no.
No, not necessarily. No, that's not true because I think that there's
Why
different
would-
ways of meeting people. And if he was a 10, I'd be like, okay, I'd have to vet the shit out of him. Excuse my language.
The first thing women
because
do-
online is
I was like, my
obviously-
daughter and I were just watching Tindler. Tinder Swindler last night on Netflix.
Oh,
Tinder
gosh.
Swindler.
I'm not
Oh,
gonna
wow.
watch
What's that?
Ladies,
Sounds awful.
you all should watch that. Tinder Swindler.
But
Yeah.
you can't say that men don't encounter the same things.
Right, they
though.
do. No,
I mean,
they
I
do.
can't
They
tell
do.
you
I don't
how
even know
many
what you're talking
freaking
about,
women
too.
that I look at online, and I'm like, you do not look anything like that.
Yeah,
And
What's
I'm
Got a
Tinder
bunch of
Swindler, dude?
like, come on, you're faking.
He's
right
the
now.
serial
Stop
killer.
it.
with Tinder, right?
What is it?
He has.
I don't know. I haven't watched
He
it.
has scammed women on Tinder.
Oh, it's a guy?
He's a scammer.
Almost over $10 million. You
Good
just have
for
to watch
him.
it. You have to
Smart
watch
guy.
Dude, I'm
what he
higher
is.
See,
than
see,
my
and this is where it's at. So listen. So he swindled how much money out of
it. Over $10 million.
from women?
From women on Tinder.
So he's not a real person?
He is a real person. That's the thing. That's
Is
the-
he like as
I'm not going to blow the ending for you guys.
Okay.
You have to watch it.
Well,
because
you
it's
can tell me
very
off air because I'm
blowing.
not going to watch
Okay,
the
so
show.
Tinder Swindler.
All right, so we're getting off topic. I love it.
I know.
It's not
Sorry,
a topic.
sorry.
It's right
Anyway,
there.
I love
We're
it.
in it.
Great gossip
We're in it.
section.
We're in it.
All right, so listen. What other things can we say that you guys have to say? Is there anything else you want to say,
No,
Shannon?
I don't. I don't know. Corinne and I just went on a tangent this morning, and now we've ended up in Tinder Swindler. So
Tinder Swindler.
yeah,
What
and
about
I
you?
know we get to
Swindler.
talk about some other stuff with Brett and with you. So
Yeah. No, you
you
can.
know.
all good.
But listen, I like the whole idea of a different perspective that it comes from you guys, and I think that's good. So you have
Well,
anything else to say about it or no?
You know what? Maybe it's not fair because this week when I was a little upset over some of these comments from my supposed friends, some friends, it's like they think they know me, but they don't. Well, you know what? I'm posting. I am who I am on social media.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
me. I'm not being fake
Right.
about anything, but that's not all of me, and I'm not. You
shouldn't-
please keep all.
Yeah,
please
you
keep that in
shouldn't
mind about
have to.
everyone.
And that's the thing is
we
like
should keep that in mind about everyone.
the expectation that we're supposed to give every single part of us, and that's
Right.
not fair. And then you call me and it's very rare. Like I don't get it very often, but when you do you're fake. Oh, I see you want to have this persona and whatever. I'm like, no, I show up the way that I show up.
Yeah.
I've shown up crying on Instagram. Like I've done right. You've seen it.
You
I've done
show
the
up
things.
without makeup. I'm
I
so
show
proud
up with
of
no
you.
makeup and PJs. But that being said, it does not mean that everybody is allowed to have every part of me. And there are certain parts of my life that I get to go through and I get to process. And then later on, if I want to share, I'll share. But otherwise, like be okay with that as a business owner because you are going to get that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and that's a sign of success.
All right,
To be
well, we're
honest.
gonna have this to be continued
When
because I
you're
got to
a-
jump to Brett here.
Yeah,
We're
go.
running out of
Public
time.
figure.
But listen, it was a great analogy, and you guys, really presented well. And we'll have part 2 coming up on Tuesday. So
What are you talking about? We came in
Let's
all
get to the
fiery
good
and all
stuff.
over the
yeah,
place.
Brett, let's
Okay,
talk
Brett,
about
go.
Get to the good
cryptocurrency.
stuff.
What's happened with crypto?
All
buddy?
right, so I want to start out by saying this. There's a video that I think everybody should go and watch. It's called Line Goes Up.
Line goes up.
Line Goes Up. It's
Okay.
a little over a 2-hour video, and I watched it this week. And I say it for no other reason that it's a completely opposing view of what I think or feel about kind of cryptocurrency and NFTs. So,
Line goes up.
yep. So it gives you a complete opposite viewpoint of what I have. And I think that before you make a decision with anything, even with what I'm saying or talking about on the podcast, I think you should do your own homework and you should definitely look at
Wait.
the other side.
Are you saying?
I know.
You're not trying to convince. You're saying, "Hey, I'm going to give you information." And
I'm still convinced that I'm right.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But I'm saying, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. It's incumbent upon yourself with any investment or anything you're going to pursue in life to form your own opinion
Right.
and your own knowledge about it.
Yeah.
So I think that video is very biased. I think it's very one-sided.
Okay.
I think that when you start making cheap remarks and insulting the other side's intelligence, but then you don't provide a whole nother side to it. It's very naive. That's what I think about the video, to be honest with you, because don't get me wrong, he makes a lot of legitimate things, and the points that he makes are very hard to argue because they're true. But there's a ton of benefits and a lot of different areas of ways that things are being done in this space that he purposely doesn't mention. So how can you say that it's an educated, well-informed video when you're obviously only given one side of it?
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
So that's just my kind of thoughts on that. But it's called, what is it called?
What's it called? Are you posting that?
yeah, go ahead, Brett.
Okay.
Line Goes Up.
Line goes up.
Line goes
Now,
up.
what about the crypto backlash we have that's going on right now? And also,
Well, that kind of
why
falls
is-
in line too with this guy.
Okay.
Okay, so the guy who does this video has been huge in Dungeons and Dragons. He's been a huge gamer. And what you find in this space is a lot of times the haters of this space are former gamers. I don't know why, but for some reason they do. So they're just basically saying with the metaverse and Web 3.0 that there's a whole new people within this space who are saying it's worthless, and it's kind of like example the video, this guy in the video. And what they're basically saying is every time that there's a new round of things that kind of come up in the crypto space or a new invention or kind of direction that it's going, there's always part of that group that doesn't want that to happen. They're like, so it's funny because you're talking about a space that's all about change and now about forward progress. But even within that, they want to limit that because a lot of these points you can make about these things that are happening in the metaverse and Web 3.0. And that's because a lot of it's unclear and a lot of we don't know exactly the full purposes of things. But to me, I ultimately believe in the end goal of many of these things. And furthermore, the direction that it's going. So as long as I'm in the direction that it's going, but there's a lot of people that don't want that to happen, or just they get comfortable in their space and it's like, okay, I'm the king of crypto of knowing all this things going on right now. And then something new happens in the space and they have to relearn it. Well, now they're not the king of knowing that information and they don't know it as well as the other do. And they kind of pride themselves in like, I'm the crypto person you come to. And now I can't identify necessarily what's going on in this new space. Because
so be well-rounded is what you're saying.
So yeah, you just have to always, I mean, man, for a space of open-minded people, you need to constantly keep that open mind.
Right. That's all.
So listen, that's one other thing I want to bring up is what happened to Bitcoin, Sol, and Ethereum?
Went up 10, 12% yesterday, and
why?
This morning going up. Bitcoin, well, let me bring up the article.
What is the reason why this is happening now?
So basically good news. And the long and short of it is, let me bring it up because you didn't print out the article like I asked Dan, but that's all right. Okay. All three initially dipped in the morning following a bullish jobs report. So basically because the jobs report came out and was very good.
Markets went down.
Yeah.
Markets went down.
And then Solana launched Solana Pay. And they listed 2 new coins on the Coinbase. So Solana is a blockchain. Okay? Now, tokens that you see being traded on these exchanges are utility tokens. These are coins that are invented to facilitate what that project is trying to do.
Okay.
Right? Say my project is I want to buy homes and then resell them. It would be a coin that basically facilitated that transaction. So it's the actual token. A token is not necessarily a blockchain. Okay? So Solana is an entirely different blockchain. It's a different blockchain from Bitcoin. It's a different blockchain from Ethereum. It's Litecoin is a completely different blockchain as well. But many of these other coins are not separate blockchains. They're basically something on top of a blockchain. They're building on top of a blockchain.
Okay.
That's the difference.
I'll talk to you more about that.
Yeah, so they're utility tokens.
So,
they serve a utility purpose. They do an action. So the action of what needs to be done for that, what they're proposing to try to do, the action of that to physically be done takes a token.
Got it.
So instead of the physical work being done, it's the computer doing the work. So instead of a person getting paid, the whoever does the computer function of it gets paid. That's the token.
Anything else?
I mean, I can go further into it, but I don't want to.
No, please don't.
I don't want smoke to be coming out in too many ears, man.
I should have gotten caffeinated coffee and not decaf.
Let's talk. All right,
that's about it. I mean,
it's good information, though. I mean, but listen, you're passionate about it.
I would say this. I want to say this, and I've been meaning to say this. Anybody who has any questions or wants to know, any basic information of where do I start, any basic questions that you have, please feel free to contact me, and I'll try to get back to everybody.
Do.
So we're going to talk about the housing market, and I've recently been out to a couple of new home tracks, and I want to talk today about, we have Heritage by Lennar, we also have Beezer Homes, we have Sage Reserve at Sky Hills, and we have this graph, and I want to bring this to everybody's attention here. So this is the graph of where these properties are at. So this is Las Vegas, so we're going to zoom out a little bit. We've actually made pinpoints for you guys to see that these are the two properties, or not properties, but the two construction sites. This one right here from Beezer, that's up towards north. So if we scroll in a little bit,
Oosh.
yeah, this is right next to Sky Canyon, and this is out there, and they just
up there by freaking Mount Charleston.
Yeah, I mean, they just broke ground on that, and so we went out there, we took a look at this, really new, very new. I mean, it's got a lot to offer. Brett, you want to talk a little bit about it since you were out there?
Yeah, I mean, you too, but I mean, dude, cheap. They're what, $450?
Single story, I need some.
No, they're two. Well, they have one collection, so they have two collections. One collection is single story, and the other collection is 2-story.
Right.
Okay.
So Sage Point is 2 stories. Sage Point Reserve are single stories.
Yes.
So the 2 stories, I haven't been to the single stories yet. I'm going there this weekend, but the 2 stories are what, between $435 and $475, $485.
Yes.
So you're basically getting a brand new home just south of Providence, just north of Summerlin off the 215.
That's perfect.
For like $450,000, man, for a brand new home. And with Beezer, a lot of what you see in the model is going to come with the standard base price.
Cool.
And I think the cheapest lot premium they had right now is about $5,000. Dude, I'm telling you.
I mean, it's going
they
to end up
just
in a bidding war,
opened.
let's be
They
real.
just opened like 2 weeks ago, man. So
Well, it's
any
gonna go
buyers
up.
who are interested, let us know.
Yeah,
Do
the
it
other
now.
thing too is this. I mean, so it's so new. They don't know what the prices are, but they'll be higher than the prices were, let's say, on the previous house. Now, talking about this guy, they got the tankless water heater. They got a lot of space.
Tankless water heater comes with it.
Yeah, and you got 3 options for cabinets. They're 36-inch cabinets.
Yep.
3 options for cabinets, 3 options for tile flooring and for carpet. Also, you have 3 options for countertop. All of them are going to come, from what I was talking to the sales agent about, is they're all going to come with granite countertop. So and they don't know what the lot premium is going to be. They really don't know a lot about.
They're granite?
They're granite.
Yeah, granite
Okay.
is so
Yeah.
last decade.
Well, this is what they're saying. They had quartz in there.
Yeah, well,
Quartz.
And
yeah.
everybody's using quartz, right? Everybody's showing
Yeah,
quartz,
everybody
but you're going to
wants
have that
granite.
option.
Okay.
It's going to start with
Okay,
granite,
so
but you
yeah,
can get
yeah.
it. Right.
Okay.
So anyways, that's a
they've got
price
lots of
point.
these stores.
Yeah, we have a price point. Let me see that really
nice.
quick.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a
telling
really
you.
good
So the price point from last homes
South
on
of Providence,
Beezer
it's right off the
was
215.
$450 to, let's say, $560, right? Well, when I was talking to the sales agent, they were saying that it's going to be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
They're always going to increase. But
Oh, yeah.
what they do have is they have an indoor Air Plus qualified filtration system. If you have an attic that's hot, it's going to bring in the cold air, push out the hot air. It's got a lot of upgrades. The Honeywell Energy Star programmable
It's got the latest
thermostat,
and greatest. Just contact
everything.
us. We'll send you all the info you
Well,
want.
here's the point of this, is that you have this option here, right? So let's go back and look at this. You got all these things that you can get here, and it's just breaking ground. I think they said they only had 30 people there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They literally just opened.
Just
like
opened.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
And then let's scroll down here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit here because I want to look at the other heritage. So this is another property. You want to talk about this, Brett?
55 and older community. They have, 7 or 8 different floor plans?
Yep.
And most of them are 2 bedrooms. Some of them, I think only 2 of them are 3 bedrooms, but you can get options for 3 on the other ones if you want. They have them anywhere between the square feet of like 1325 square feet up to, I think, just below 2,000 square feet single story.
Yeah, and
Nice.
here's the
Oh,
here's
nice.
the Beltway
Okay.
right here.
Yeah.
So here's the Beltway, and this is
I mean,
Charleston.
it's literally right up to the latest
The
of
basin.
Howard Hughes.
Where is that?
Land
by Red
there's
Rock.
there's nothing behind it but full 360 views.
This
of,
is the Beezer?
This is literally, you can see, this is Red Rock.
Yeah.
And that's Charleston.
Literally, you see Red Rock
That is
sitting right there.
literally
It's
Red
completely,
Rock.
there's
Yeah,
nothing
that's a
behind it. It's literally right
beautiful
up there
spot.
by
Yeah.
itself, and they
Nice.
bought all that
Gorgeous.
land up there by themselves.
Yep, gorgeous.
So I think the prices on those are between the low 400s all the way up to like in the 800s.
Oh gosh, and then with
That's not
lots and all of that, I mean, come on, it's going to be
It's
over
55 and older, their own clubhouse, their own gym, guard gated community.
Is that true?
No, gated.
Okay.
Yeah, guard gated, I believe.
Yeah,
Sorry.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways,
I'm gonna
those are
look at
2
that.
of the hot spots that we want to talk about with new homes. You guys have anything else to say about real estate?
Keep on keeping on.
Nothing?
Don't stop, let's
We're
go.
here. Yep.
All right, guys, we're going to
Don't
end the
stop
show.
believing.
Brett, how can somebody get a hold of you, buddy?
702-628-3476 or brettjenny.com or on Instagram, Brett to the J.
How about you, Shannon? I know, what do you do, Shannon? People said you're not a real estate agent, so what do you do?
Business consulting, so helping, I'll make it super quick, but helping strategize next chapter in growth in business, marketing, personal branding, A lot of life coaching that comes in, hence the emotional intelligence conversation. Anyways, but you can get a hold of me 702-445-9473 or follow me on the gram, Shan Miller, SHANN Miller, LV for Las Vegas on Instagram.
I think she planned that, or she's doing that in the mirror on the gram. It's like,
do they do that in the mirror?
yeah, you just.
I can't see
how
myself.
do I
on the
make that
gram.
powerful?
How's this? Brett to the J.
Jay. There you go. There it is.
Corinne, how about you,
Get
Corinne?
it.
CorinneLujan.com. That's LUJ. That's a H. J. JAN. What the heck? What was that?
What's up,
What's
Corinne?
in that drink right there, Corinne?
No, it's the trail balls.
Apparently, I'm all over the place, so it's easy to find me. So,
All right, guys, this is the most real behind-the-scenes information regarding financing, real estate, money talk, entrepreneurs going on here in Las Vegas. I'm your host, Dan French.
Woo!
Please like the channel, subscribe. If you have questions, we'll answer them pertaining to anything, social media, housing, lending, Las Vegas. Subscribe. We'll see you guys at the next one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the French Workbench podcast. You can find us here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. to find out all the information on real estate and financing here in Las Vegas. Also, check us out on our LV Home Professionals website. You can find your future home there, a lot of good information, and you can find us on audio-only options through